then we'll go to the back.
Two questions on peacekeeping. The first is on Burundi. Given that a member of the military declared himself in control, and whether or not you call it a coup, I wonder what is the procedures for where countries are troop contributing countries, and there are reports also in Burundi of splits within the military, some siding with the former or current or whatever president, and some not. What is the impact, and what is what does DPKO do in these circumstances?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, there are about 800 Burundian troops serving in various UN peacekeeping missions. We can get you the exact number. I think they continue to serve, and they continue to serve well. I think the situation in the country as to who is in charge and what is a de facto government is yet unclear. So I think we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
But who is DPKO's interlocutor in terms of peacekeeping in Burundi at this time?
Well, I think, at this point, it's not an issue of who DPKO is talking to. I think our efforts right now are being led by Mr. Jinnit. As I said, the situation on the ground continues to be fluid and not quite clear.
Okay, and the other one I wanted to ask, I'd asked you yesterday about, it seems that whatever Mr. Tony Banbury said is part of the UN's response to these, the concerns about immunity, about the rapes in the CAR. So I'd asked you if there was a transcript, and I guess I couldn't, I looked at the transcript of this, I didn't hear a yes or no. But I want to ask you specifically about something that he said, which is that he said that the UN wants those engaged in this behavior to, quote, rot in jail. And I just wonder, I mean, definitely accountability is one thing, but is it a UN position that, in fact, prisons should be used for people to rot in them?
I think,
and I'd like to transcript.
I think, he gave interviews. I think it's
seems like there's one interview.
I think that quote is more of a colloquialism, which I would translate to mean that people should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
But was this a single interview, or was this a sit-down thing that should transcribe?
This was interviews.
Right.
So.
But do you provide a transcript
I don't provide transcripts of interviews that you may have with other
right.
people.
Was this a one-on-one interview or not?
Matthew, I can't be responsible for what parties you're invited to or not invited to.
No, it's not.
Okay,
what I'm saying is that if questions are asked in this room about the UN's position on rape, and if the answers are given off camera to a select group,
I think Matthew, you are able to ask as many questions as you want here. It is responded to on behalf of the United Nations by myself. You're free to talk to other people.
I wanted to ask, actually I'll ask one thing for two press freedom friends. One is the statement by the new special advisor on Yemen, where he calls for the media to be helpful. I just wanted to, I saw it last night when it was put out. Can you put a little gloss on that in terms of what is exactly asking the media to do? As a media member, I'd like to kind of get my marching orders.
I think, I don't think he was giving you marching orders. I think what we have seen in conflicts areas where there are often conflicts based on belonging to certain communities, ethnic groups, that sometimes there is such thing as hate media and messages that are not positive, and they're not, that do not push towards a peaceful resolution. So that would be my sense of what he meant. It is. Unfortunately, I can't give the media marching orders. But
sure, thanks a lot. And I'm just going to say, since you said this thing about the party, I have no desire to party with Mr. Banbury. I just want to know what he said about the UN's position on rapes. Right. Okay. So I'm fine. That said, the question is about this case in South Korea that's been bouncing around for some time. The businessman, Mr. Sung, who committed suicide but mentioned the Secretary General's name soon before he did it. And there's a new article in the Korea Jungang Daily which says, that Mr. Ban's nephew, Ba Jun-hyung, the manager of a New York-based real estate firm, is somehow involved in this case. And it cites him providing a forged letter for the Qatar Investment Authority saying that a building in Vietnam was going to be built when it wasn't. And I just wonder, I would assume that your office is aware of this. What is is any of this true? For example, is his nephew involved in this real estate deal? Does his nephew deny providing a fraudulent Qatari sovereign wealth fund letter?
This does not involve the Secretary General. He has nothing to do with this issue, and he has nothing to do with his nephew. And I think I really have nothing else.
I guess I'm asking. It's only because it has this connection to possible politics, countries,
right? But I think it's
funds. He denies it. I just wanted straight.
Clearly, the Secretary General is not involved in any of this. I would like